Hey guys, this is Keep It Simple Matt, and this is just a quick overview of what I like to use when I go out in the woods and start fires. So, just a fire tool, kind of a fire tool, quick little video here, and well, let's get started. Here goes nothing. As you can see here, I got an assortment of lighters, got a little match container, magnesium fire starter, and some fire steel here. So, and up here is trioxane, which I'll get to at the end of the video. So, first off, I'd like to say this is just a little Zippo lighter. I think everybody's seen a Zippo. You know, this one doesn't have any fluid in it right now because I don't use it. Don't use it anymore. When I was a kid, I used to think these were really cool, and I used to think it would be the best thing for out in the woods. And let me tell you, they're not. The fluid runs out too fast. I mean, 3 days, maybe, 3 to 5 days, maybe. If you get them wet, if you fall into a lake or a stream or a creek or whatever, the cotton in there gets wet, and your fuel's gone after that, and it doesn't want to do nothing. So I wouldn't recommend this, even though they look cool. So you guys that think, oh, that'd be great, I wouldn't do it. So next up, we have a cheap butane lighter from Gander Mountain. This is actually, I do bring this with just to have a lighter, just in case I need to get something started fast, and it is kind of nice to have. It doesn't work when it gets wet. This is not waterproof. It is a cheap lighter. You might be better served buying one of them Brunton lighters from Brunton Adventure Racing. I think that's what it's called or something. Anyways, Brunton makes a lighter that I believe is waterproof. I haven't used it yet, but I was looking to pick one up. They're just really expensive. This I paid like $10 for, and it does the job right now. And as I said, I wouldn't recommend it exactly for a full emergency, because if you do fall into a lake and you get submersed in water, your coil gets wet, all this stuff in here gets wet, and it doesn't want to light off. So, but it is a good thing to have, just in case you need to get a fire going real fast, and it's decent to have. Next up, this is another thing. It's not waterproof. It gets wet, doesn't want to work, but it is a microjet little soldering tool. But it works great for starting fires quick because it's hot. It's basically a little torch, and starts things up very quick. And I carried this in my pack for a while until I switched over to the little butane lighter that I picked up. And this was pretty decent too. The only thing is, as I said, I tested all these, and when they get wet, don't want to work. So next up, we have a little match container, and I do still carry this just because it carries some matches, and I don't have anything better to really put matches in right now. A little cheap thing I picked up at Gander, holds a bunch of little matches in there. Has a wannabe striker on the side, which doesn't really work that well. I have basically anywhere strike matches in there, and they will strike on this, but you got to really fight to get them to work on there. So I do have a little strike pad inside there to use. It's a lot easier. Comes with a whistle, which works pretty decent. A little supposedly a signal mirror, and a compass, which is kind of a slow compass. Doesn't like to, it will work for you though, and it's okay for the price. I mean, I think it was like $5 or something at Gander Mountain. This one I also picked up, and this one was from this I picked up to replace an old one I had. This is from Gander Mountain. It's a magnesium fire starter, or a magnesium match, or wet match, or whatever you want to call it. I really preferred these as a kid. This is what I had, and I just used a pocket knife and used to scrape it off and use that, because when you're a kid, you don't really have much, and you don't really think about it. You just use what you're given, and this is what I had. And I mean, they work good. They do dull your knife up, scraping off the magnesium and then sparking it, getting the spark going. But they do work good. The old one I have is pretty worn out from all the camp trips I brought it on. And this one, as I said, is brand new. It's sitting in a little survival kit now that I've moved on to bigger and better things, I think. So put that out of the way, clear that up. This next up is a Swedish Fire Steel. This one actually is sitting in a little kit as well I got going, because I bought it. I bought it actually after the fact of this, so this is my preferred method, and I'll get to that in a minute. This is a nice little kit. I had a friend of mine that had one of these, and you know, it works great. And I bought this for a small kit just to keep in there. You know, it does work well, and it works great. It's Fire Steel, and you know how dependable Fire Steel is. So, you know, enough said on that. This one is a Ultimate Survival Technologies flint steel, or you know, Fire Steel. It's got the ferrocerium rod, and I mean, look at that. That is a thick ferrocerium rod. I mean, you can put these side by side, and you can tell the difference in how many strikes you're going to get off of this compared to this. This is my favorite way to start fires now, because there's, you know, it's not really going to go out. It can get wet. You can thrash it around. You can even, you know, just toss it around, and it's not, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to keep going, and it's going to work for you every time. And this is my preferred way. Works great. Sparks very, you know, puts a shower of sparks on what you need. Here's a striker there, so you don't have to doll up your knife using it. You know, as with that, has a little storage kit in here to hold your. I think it's called Wet Fire. A little tinder they sell that's from the company as well. Little cubes fit in there perfectly, and you can keep them in there. When you need them, you pull them out. I think it holds 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't bought any yet to test it out, but I'm looking to test it out sometime, either this winter or sometime this summer, or spring or whatever. We'll figure it out. I haven't bought any yet, but I've been looking to test it out because it looks like it might be a good option if it lasts a while. And it's you know, as I said, I can't vouch for that, but I can vouch for this. This is a great tool, and you know, I would recommend this to anybody out there who really wants a good Fire Steel. And I mean, this will work. And if you want something lighter, lightweight, and I mean a little smaller for a small kit, you know, maybe pick up this Light My Fire Steel. This is a Scout model. You can get the Army model, which is a little bigger in the ferrocerium rod, and it will go for more sparks. I think this is rated to 3,000 sparks, and this, I don't, you know, they don't give you a rating, but you can tell it's gonna go further than that one. So next up, my favorite accelerant and favorite little fuel here is trioxane fuel. I like to use this. In fact, I've used it for years to start campfires. You know, on outdoor outings or small outings and that. It's a great piece of gear to have when the weather's crappy and you need to get a fire going fast. This stuff burns like a torch. This stuff is hot. And it's a great option for you. It's called trioxane. It's from the military. Works great. You know, other than that, that's about it for my my fire tools video. And you know, I just like to say there are other options out there. Check them out. Kind of see what works for you. You know, because what works for me might not work for you. So, well, this is Keep It Simple Matt, and I'd really like to thank you for checking out the videos. And you know, your views are appreciated. And thank you very much. And you guys have a great day.